Officers, was there a time you wanted to let someone off the hook but couldn't? What happened? Got called to a shoplifting incident at a grocery store around 8 p.m. on a Tuesday. Manager said he caught a teenage girl stealing baby formula and diapers. Wanted her arrested immediately. When I walked into the back office, she was sitting in a plastic chair holding a crying infant, maybe 6 months old. The girl looked about 16, wearing a school hoodie that had seen better days. The manager, this heavyset guy named Frank, was pacing behind his desk. "This is the 4th time this month different kids have tried this exact same thing," Frank told me, waving the security footage. "Baby formula, diapers, sometimes baby food. I'm sick of it. I want charges pressed." I started pulling out my paperwork, but something felt off. The baby wasn't fussing with her like babies usually do with strangers. She knew exactly how to hold him, how to bounce him to calm him down. This wasn't some random kid she grabbed as a prop. "What's your name?" I asked her. "Sarah," she whispered, not looking up from the baby. "And whose baby is this?" "My little brother, Tommy." Her voice cracked slightly. "He's hungry." Frank rolled his eyes. "Yeah, right. Probably borrowed him from a friend to make us feel sorry for her." I looked at the security footage Frank showed me. Sarah had grabbed a cart, filled it with formula, diapers, and some baby food. But here's what caught my attention. Halfway through the store, she started putting things back, kept only 2 cans of formula and a small pack of diapers. The bare minimum. "Where are your parents, Sarah?" I asked. She finally looked up at me. Dark circles under her eyes, the kind you get from not sleeping. "Mom left 2 weeks ago. Just didn't come home one day. Dad's around, but he's been drinking a lot since she left." I pulled out her school ID to verify her information. Lincoln High School. Honor roll student. Perfect attendance record until about 3 weeks ago. Then it dropped off completely. Frank was getting impatient. "Look, Officer Martinez, I get that it's sad, but I can't run a business if I let everyone with a sob story walk out with free merchandise. These kids talk to each other. If word gets out that I'm soft, I'll have half the school in here trying to pull the same scam." "It's not a scam," Sarah said quietly, then louder. "It's not a scam. Tommy hasn't eaten since yesterday morning. I've been giving him water with sugar mixed in, but he needs real food." The baby started crying again, and Sarah automatically shifted him to her shoulder, patting his back in that practiced way that only comes from months of experience. I made a decision that could have cost me my badge. "Frank, how much did she take?" $63.47. I pulled out my wallet. "I'll pay for it." Frank looked confused. "That's not how this works, officer. She still committed theft." "No charges," I said, counting out the money. "Consider it a personal purchase." Frank wasn't happy, but he took the money. Sarah stared at me like I'd just performed a miracle. "Thank you," she whispered, "but I can't pay you back. Don't worry about it, but I need to drive you home and check on your situation." The address on her ID led to a rundown apartment complex on the east side. When she opened the door, I understood why she was stealing baby food. 3 more kids were inside, twins who looked about 8, and a girl maybe 10 years old. They were sitting on a mattress on the floor, sharing a box of stale cereal. No dad in sight. Empty beer bottles everywhere. The refrigerator was completely empty, except for a half-gallon of milk that had gone bad. "Sarah's been taking care of us," the 10-year-old said matter-of-factly. "She's really good at it." I called Child Protective Services, but not for the reason you'd think. I needed to get these kids help, not split them up. Sarah had been doing everything right. She'd just run out of options. The caseworker who showed up was Janet, someone I'd worked with before. When she saw the situation, she immediately started making calls. Emergency food assistance, temporary aid, and she helped Sarah file for emergency guardianship of her siblings. Sometimes following the law means understanding when not to arrest someone. Those kids would have ended up in the system if I'd done everything by the book. Instead, they stayed together with someone who actually loved them. Last I heard, Sarah graduated high school with honors and got a scholarship to community college. Sometimes doing the right thing means taking a risk.